Hi, this is Christian Cantrell with Watch Report, and today I want to show you the Rolex Sea Dweller. The Rolex Sea Dweller is really one of my favorite watches in the world. Certainly one of my favorite Rolexes, the other one being the Explorer 2. So let's see, some interesting things to point out. I really like the sort of the black on black look, which is the black dial and the black unidirectional rotating bezel here. It's sort of a very stark and austere, very handsome look. The case is very nice, very high quality stainless steel, and same with the bracelet. The other thing to point out that really sets the Sea Dweller apart from other Rolexes is that, as you'll notice, there's no date cyclops or magnifier or bubble as it's sometimes called. And that's because it has such a thick sapphire crystal. I'll show you how thick that is. That putting a cyclops on there would really sort of, raise the profile of the crystal and hence the entire watch. So they just left it off, and I think it gives the dial a much cleaner look, or the face of the watch in general a much cleaner look. There's a lot of writing on the dial. You see it has Sea Dweller, and it has some specs on the dial and stuff, but it's still relatively unobtrusive, and I think it's still a very clean look. You also have the bezel pearl up here, and that also glows along with the luminescent paint around on the hour indices and on the hands. I also wanted to point out the shape of the hour hand, which is something that Rolex uses on several of their sport models. It's round, as you can see, and that allows it to show when the minute hand is on top of it. So it's kind of nice. It always sort of gives you perspective. It's a nice design quality that you don't really appreciate until you wear a watch that has a minute hand that's bigger than the hour hand, and one time you look at it and you go, hey, where's the hour hand? And it really throws you off, actually. So it's a very nice design that's been pretty thoroughly copied throughout the industry. Something else that makes this watch very unique is this helium escape valve. This was developed with a French industrial diving company called Comex, which discovered that divers wearing watches would sometimes have the crystals pop right out of the watch while they were in a decompression chamber, and that's because they put helium in the air, and helium can penetrate a watch around the crystal, and so when you're decompressing, the helium would actually pop the crystal right off the watch. So they built this helium escape valve, and that allows the helium to escape harmlessly, so that it doesn't damage the watch in any way. So it's a very serious dive tool. This is not a fashion accessory. It also has a trip-lock crown, which is Rolex's most watertight crown. You can see the 3 dots on there. That shows that it's a trip-lock crown. And let me just unscrew it here. It's obviously a screw-down crown. And you can see when I unscrew it, you can see the... let's see, pull it out a little bit so you can see it better. See the black rubber gasket in there. So it's very watertight. The other thing that's really nice about this watch is how well the crown screws in. It's just so smooth. It's just so well engineered, so well designed. Let's see, the case back. Let me show you the case back here. It's a very thick case back, as you can see here. It's got quite a profile. And it has writing on it, which is, I believe this is the only Rolex that has writing on the case back. So that's another thing that sets this watch apart. It's kind of cool. Let me show you the dive extension. It has a dive extension, so it has a really nice bracelet. Let me open up the bracelet here. This might be a little bit tricky to do on camera, but let me try and do it anyways. If you see that link that has the little circle right there, that's telling you where to push. So if I push that, you hear a little popping sound, and that starts the process of opening up the dive extension. So now the watch is, the bracelet is quite a bit larger, which allows it to fit over a wetsuit. So that's a nice feature. And the last thing I want to say about this watch is something that's a little bit sad, and that is that it's being discontinued. Rolex has built a new sea dweller called the Deep Sea. And while I think the Deep Sea is an amazing watch, you can read about it on Watch Report. I love this watch, and it's a shame to see it go. It would have been nice if Rolex could carry them both, but apparently they can't. So if you want one of these, you have a limited time to pick one up in a store, or else you're going to have to buy one used. I consider these to have already been classics, even before they were discontinued, because they're just such unusual and beautiful watches, and now that they've been discontinued, they're going to be even more sought after. So that's about it for a detailed review and lots of pictures of the Sea Dweller. Check out watchreport.com. Thanks for watching.